What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nunu from the newsstand, where we are serving nothing but positivity. And I'm here on the red carpet for the 2022 Sentinel Awards, okay? And the Sentinel Awards, we are honoring industry leaders that uplift important societal and political issues of our time, including abortion rights and mental health in their TV shows. Now, tonight, there are a couple fire TV shows that I know y'all be watching that are nominated for putting on for a big cause, a big social cause that created a big impact. One of the shows being Abbott Elementary, the other shows being Harlem, okay, and also Reservation Dogs and a few other shows that you might have heard of. Stay tuned for this here. You already know I'm going to give you all the interviews and the backstage footage from the red carpet. You do not want to miss it. All right, guys, I am here with the beautiful Yvette Brown. How are you feeling tonight, sis?
I'm good, sis. I'm good.
You look good, girl. We're going to give y'all a full video of the fit, but she's looking good.
You making me feel tall.
You know, that's typically what I do for everybody.
Neither one of us are tall. I got on heels. It's the only reason I'm not down here with her. Okay.
Listen, so the question that I want to ask you tonight is, how does it feel to acknowledge industry leaders that support the societal politics issues of our time and that actually use their platform and their voice to do so?
Well, the whole point of being an artist is to have something to say and to lead people somewhere that matters. And so I love that these content creators and writers and directors that are being honored tonight, they use their platform for good. When they write a show or when they talk about an issue, it's about something that matters. And I think it's great to celebrate them.
I agree. And how important is circulating positive, purposeful content right now? Because, you know, social media, it's dark. So how important is that for you?
I think it's very important to me. I try to live a life that spotlights good things. The Sentinel Awards believes in that. They've been doing it for many years. I think their first year back since 2019. So we're back. Is it 2019, guys, first time back? So we're back here celebrating all these wonderful shows and these creators that are creating content that moves the needle in the right way. And then the fabulous Norman Lear Center and the fabulous Norman Lear are behind it. So you just can't go wrong.
Listen, she answered the questions beautifully.
When you first felt that you were represented on television? Any of you?
Say that one more time.
When you first felt you were represented or truly felt seen by a television show?
Living single.
I was going to say that, yeah. I would probably say living single. I'm going to shout out Martin as well.
Martin actually was my favorite.
Yeah.
It's just something about, the comedy, I just understood it. It just was really good.
And the love story between Martin and Gina, too.
Yes.
So sweet, yeah.
It's so sweet and endearing, and you wanted that kind of fun vibe. Yeah.
I'd say the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
Yes.
I'm like,
Okay, yeah, let's do that, too.
Because I grew up in a neighborhood where we were one of one black family, and so the experience was unique to constantly feeling like a fish out of water, you know? So that was the first time. And then also, he's just such a goofball and so corny that I can just relate on the show. That was my kind of comedy, so yeah.
I have one question for you. What do you think is the impact of social media and representation in storytelling?
Ooh, that's a big question.
Yes.
It's interesting because the good thing is more people are being seen. The adverse effect is there's a certain aesthetic that Instagram or social media develops, and it's hard when we see that aesthetic on social media and then we also see that aesthetic in our TV shows, and then people don't feel seen then.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I want a show where there's lots of different aesthetics.
Yeah.
I would say from a writer's point of view, it's made creating stories sometimes harder, because sometimes you'll have Black Twitter or whatever weighing in before the whole thing is dropped, and they're forming opinions, and then you're reading it, all the writers, we're horrible. We read everything, and then we're in our beds crying, and we're wondering oh my God, are people gonna hate this? Are they gonna like it? So that's been the downside of it, because you don't want people in your head like that while you're creating. But the upside of it is you can reach people directly, and you can reach a lot of people worldwide that you never would have been able to before social media. So I think it's been really great.
And I also think it informs us on everything that's going on. Even though it's our responsibility to go and research these things and make sure we actually know what the hell we're talking about, but I think that it does inform what people are interested in hearing, knowing about, exploring what they're going through. what is like trendy right now per se, or whatever it is. But I think it's been a great informational tool to at least set you on your path to do the research and know things that you wouldn't have previously known had we not had social media. And so I think it can be absolutely the devil, but I also think it can be used as a tool to bless and encourage and inspire and all those things as well. But I do think it has definitely had an impact on the culture.
Hey guys, now if you guys haven't watched The First Lady, then you don't know what you're missing, and I'm here with some of the core creators of it. Can you please tell us your name and what you do on the show?
My name is Azia. I was the executive story editor on The First Lady.
And she wrote the episode that's winning tonight, so she should take full credit. I'm her hanger on tonight. I'm Aaron Cooley. I created the show, but then she wrote this episode
with a lot of support. A lot of support.
Okay, so
cheering section back.
So the episode that they are talking about, guys, it's an episode that talked about breast cancer, and it was very emotional, and it was actually a very great episode. I love the show, so I know exactly what's going on. So she's being honored for that tonight. So do you have any experience with breast cancer personally that you tied into this writing experience?
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer of a question, but yeah, Aaron and I actually do both. So I lost my grandmother to cancer, and Aaron, I'll let you tell your side of it.
Yeah, well, my mom, who's here tonight, she is a survivor. If she's too shy to come on camera, and my mother-in-law was the first person I knew who had survived it. So I've had it, touch my family, and luckily they were able to beat it with the help of a lot of wonderful doctors and organizations. But I was shocked. It all really started, a lot of the awareness started with Betty Ford, which I didn't know till when we were first starting the show. Showtime asked us to add one more First Lady. The third of the three we added in the development process was Betty Ford. It was when I saw that she had done that for breast cancer awareness that I said, this has got to be the one we do. And the truth was, they had said, can you find a Republican? Because we already had Michelle Obama and Eleanor Roosevelt, and Betty Ford was... anyway, I don't want to get too political. I don't know what outlet this is, but
listen, we're here, we promote positivity, and we like to spread awareness about things that are important like breast cancer, so this is the perfect platform to express that. So I see that you guys like to put your personal experience in your art and in your work. Can you tell people who want to do what you're doing how important that is to actually not be afraid to, be transparent about what you've been through and use that to create?
Do you want to go first? Or?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean, I think that is the most important thing. I think you kind of have to, at the end of the day, that's what touches people. That's what people care about. You have to kind of expose yourself and touch the human condition. So I think if you're not doing that in your stories, then you're probably not telling a story that's going to touch people,
For me, it was, I think, during the pandemic that I realized how important this stuff could be. I think I'd written a lot of action thrillers and a lot of times wondered if what I was doing was frivolous. And when I realized during the pandemic how important this, my TV and my streaming net, they became my connection to the outside world. And so since then, and it was my wife who really sat me down and said, look, what you're doing is important. I think since then I have doubted myself less. And so keep everyone out there who wants to do this, keep fighting for it. It takes a lot of patience. This was my first show on the air, and I got to LA 22 years before that. So that's how long it takes for some of us, but it's worth it in the end.
What would you tell your younger self right now?
Drink more water.
Thirsty, sis.
And put down the donuts, because diabetes